Good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. So we've got a bit of a Cosworth free day today. We've got plenty of other stuff to get on with. John's back with us, so we've got loads of little bits to sort of crack on with. We're going to leave the Cosies for today and get on with a few of the cylinder heads and bits and bobs we've got lying about. Right, so here we've got 16 valve L200 Mitsubishi cylinder head. As you can see, I've refaced it, and basically to reface this I had to pressure test it first just to make sure there's no cracks. And what I do to do that, whether I've said before, but we set it up on our jig. All the waterways at the top and on the surface we block up, bar one, which we use for the feed, the air feed, about 100 psi, and we do it warm, and then we block up all of the waterways around the head, and then we sort of basically pour water over it and down the ports and check for bubbles basically. So that was a pressure test. This has passed, this cylinder head, so then it was just a reface. But because you've got the valves protruding the surface, as you can see there very slightly, we've had to remove the valves. Although the customers had no problems with the valves seating, and what I have decided to do, the exhausts are okay, but the inlet valves are very coked up. You normally find this on diesels because you can just get sort of excess diesel build up on the seats. You can see there the carbon build up. Now the problem is, when you may not have had a problem, but when you take the valves out, you've only got to have a little bit of that carbon shift and sit on the seat, and then you're going to run into compression issues and misfire issues. So what I do, I keep them all in order using this little bit of wood here. We've drilled 8 holes in, put them all in, and we're going to put this in our shop blaster, and individually I'm just going to bead blast each valve and get all the carbon off, pop them in, and we'll do a vacuum test, make sure they're seating, and yeah, good to go. So I put my hands in the gloves. This is a sealed cabinet, so I can take one valve out of my little wood jig. Operated pedal slash a mixture of the air, compressed air, and the glass medium that's in the cabinet. And that is enough there to shift the carbon and what have you without damaging the material as well. There, as you can see, it's all nice and clean. Just do the rest of it. Is with this machine, you want the air pressure. You can adjust the air pressure. You want it enough so it obviously removes the material in a reasonable amount of time, but then you don't want it too much that it's going to pulverize the glass bead, because then it just goes into a powder, and one, it's useless, and two, it just clouds up the machine and you're sort of working by braille. So that seems to be perfect. We're going to crack on doing the rest of these, put them in, vacuum them, see what they come up like. So there we go, look, all blasted, looking like new. I'm just going to give these a quick wash now, and they're ready to pop back in, I reckon. Right, so this is the Toyota Hilux block that I bored last week. I just finished honing it today and give it a lick over. It was very odd on the block face. It was sort of around this area. It hadn't cleaned, although it didn't really give any signs of blowing a gasket, but that's why on these sort of bigger diesels we always give them a little lick over just in case, just to make sure we've got a flat surface. Now the customer's gone away and bought a genuine head gasket for this, which means it'll be original thickness. So seeing as we've gone and bought a brand new set of pistons at +5 for him, what I've done, I've ended up taking about 1/8 thou off the block. So I've gone and took 1/8 thou off the crown of the pistons. Then we know that the piston is not going to protrude any more than it did originally. He's had the cylinder head done, I think, and the valves have been cut back slightly, so the valve cutouts are not going to be an issue. So in theory, it's all going to be back to what it was originally. So all I do when I've machined whatever I have to off the crown of the piston, just the little arrow there is for the customer to know that it points forward. So the arrow pointing to the front of the engine. So last week, guys, I said that I'd sent my Lamborghini down to our boys at Tintin Express. All my graphics work, anything like that, wrapping of the cars, we always get done down at Tintin Express. I use them for everything. They're absolutely brilliant pair of lads, father and son outfit. So yeah, the Lamborghini went in there, just wanted a little final touch on the side of the car just to break it up. It's my own little twist on the car, really. So what I've gone for is the sort of black stripe on the Superleggera's, if any of you have seen that. I've gone for that idea there. We've got the sort of tricolore, is that what they call it? The Italian flag sort of stripe that goes at the top of the black, and then usually at the front you've got the Superleggera in the Italian font at the front of the black stripe. So I've gone for my own little twist on that writing. I've just had a delivery this morning. So that is the Italian stripe that is going on the top there. If you guys want to see the car, Sam, who's the son at Tintin Express, who does the work for me, he's a top lad. He's just started his own YouTube channel called Express Performance. So I'll put a link in the description below. Just go on that, guys. And his first video is to do with our Lamborghini. So yeah, credit where it's due. Top boys, wouldn't give my work to anyone else. Check that video out, give them a like and a subscribe. Thanks, guys. Right, so this L200 head, I've took about 6 thou off the head. So what they do is aftermarket different thickness gaskets. So I think the thickest gasket goes up to about 12 thou thicker than the original. Say we took 6 thou off this, so we're going to need a mid thickness gasket on that. So I've let the customer know. Right, bit of an update on the Cosworth, guys. This is the one with the broken camshaft there, which we did the video last on. Now I've noticed, haven't got the manifold off yet, but I have noticed that definitely these 4 valves, or the buckets, are sitting lower than the other 4. So this has definitely got 4 bent valves. I'm just hoping when we get the cylinder head off, which isn't going to be today, but I'm just hoping that it hasn't damaged the bores too much. He wants to go full hog on this, so you know we want the 450 horsepower. Although it's a 205 block, I've sort of made him aware of the weaknesses on that, but we just want to hope that the bore isn't damaged too much. If it is, then we're going to have to go for the ductile iron top hat liners. Maybe advise that he goes that way anyway for extra strength on that 205 block. Right, little update on this Nissan. Now this is the Nissan we did the video on quite a while ago, the one that had done 40 miles supposedly, and it didn't look that clean inside to me. There's the cylinder head, so yeah, you make your own mind up what's happened there. But this one has been given the go-ahead by the customer, I think, because these engines are sort of quite valuable as a donor now, being Japanese and everything Japanese has gone up. He wants this one sorted, so I think what we're going to do is maybe go through the head again. We're going to check the bores out, maybe even if we bore those. And he was even toying with the idea of maybe putting a set of decent pistons and rods in there, boring it, face the block, start again, and having a good sort of forged motor to sell on. The motor he's got in the car at the minute, bear in mind it's a Mark II Escort, so it's not going to weigh much. He's got a stock one of these in that's running a bit more power, about 280 horsepower, more than enough in a Mark II Escort at the moment. So I think he just wants to try and recoup a bit of money out of this. So we're going to, when we've got a bit of space on the bench here, we're going to drag that out and see what we can do, see if we can make a decent motor out of that. So final job for today, I'm just going to get this Healey set up on the boring bar, bored to plus 60, and then I'm going to set it up on the mill and give it a lick over. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button, like, comment down below, and I'll see you in another video. Cheers, guys.